In this video, I'll be talking about a couple of things. Number one is your conscious empowerment. What does it really mean? Why it's so important in today's world? And also a very key concept called ISQ. More to come on that. Hang in there. And number two, we'll be talking about the tools that might help you in becoming more consciously empowered. So let's get going. Hi, this is Sahil Sharma, your conscious empowerment partner. I've been supporting people in their personal and professional lives as a life and leadership coach for more than 16 years. All right, so let's unpack the concept of conscious empowerment first. Before we do that, I would like you to imagine a beautiful tree, a strong, beautiful tree, just like tree of life. It has deep roots going into the ground. It has a very solid trunk, and it has all these branches with beautiful leaves around it. Now imagine this tree of life is actually the concept of conscious empowerment. How does this work? The roots that you just imagined that are going deep into the ground are the first component called the awareness. Now, what do you need to be aware of? Awareness carries the awareness of your subconscious belief systems, or the thinking and the feeling and the beliefs that you've been carrying that make your life a reality in your perspective, in your experience. The more you are aware of your patterns, the easier it becomes for you to navigate the complexities of life or make a whole quantum shift into a different life that you would have imagined for yourself. The second part is the trunk, and this trunk is called the intent. What is intent? What are you intending about? Anything you're doing in life, if that's intentional and in your awareness, that means you are fully aligned with the outcome as well. So as an example, each time I start off any of the readings, any of the coaching sessions, I always ask my clients, what's your intention for this conversation? Or what is the intention for this reading today? That really helps us anchor into the intention and the outcome. We're very focused on it. So whatever we intend, we get an outcome according to that. If you don't have an intention, it's an open jungle, it's an odyssey. Where are you going? Right? You don't know. So there's no anchoring into it. And the third part is the branches or the leaves that you see of the tree of life. Now, this is called the alignment piece. You're aligning with the universe. It's getting in sync with your outer self and your inner self. So your inner values, things that you got aware of, you put intention towards, are now in action and alignment with the universe. You must have heard, universe conspires for you when you are very clear towards your intentions. And you can only get clearer with your intentions, but you're fully aware. So these are all intertwined. That's what conscious empowerment is all about. It is the beautiful tree of life that helps you live with awareness, intention, and alignment. Now let's talk about ISQ, the inner seer intelligence. This is a concept which is the embodiment of conscious empowerment. ISQ is more about the holistic practice, the way of living, tying together all the components that we just talked about in the conscious empowerment, which is the awareness, intent, and the alignment. Which means when you are navigating the twists and turns of your life, that means you're trying to lead your personal life or you're leading your professional life and navigating those complexities and challenges, you can tap into your feelings, your thinking, and becoming more aware of what's happening within you. And instead of reacting, you respond to life, which means you're making more conscious decisions and you are naturally becoming consciously empowered by making those empowering decisions for your life. So it's really like waking up every day in the morning as a practice and asking, how can I live my life more consciously today? Internalize that question for a second before we move on. If you're wondering, how can I really embody ISQ or conscious empowerment through ISQ? So small example would be when you are stressed and your stressful mind needs to make a decision, which can be really foggy at that time, your awareness itself can remove the fog away, but it has to be conscious awareness. Number two, when you are feeling really off track, or you are going and doing something, a project, or you've taken an initiative in personal life, let's say even you want to reduce your weight or become more fit as an example, you're going in the right direction, but suddenly you feel off track. You've started eating more, you've started getting into imbalanced behaviors there. But then the moment you become consciously intentional, you can steer yourself back. So that's your intention, because you ask the bigger question, why did I even start this? Oh yes, I wanted to be fit back, but it has to be done consciously. And then the third part is your alignment. Now, when you feel really disconnected with life, I know a lot of people, a lot of clients who have so-called midlife crisis, or sometimes they have been into relationships, whether personal or professional, as an example, narcissistic relationships. Now they feel totally disconnected with life, or they've gone through some traumas. They're totally disconnected with life now. When they become consciously aligned through the right practices, they can also move back into that alignment that they were seeking and feel more connected to life again. This is a broad example, of course, it's very contextual, but this is how you embody ISQ, or conscious empowerment through ISQ. You become emotionally, spiritually intelligent. That's the way. Now let's talk about some of the tools that we use, or you can also use, for conscious empowerment. How can you really make that happen? What are the tools? Number one, you can use the concept of conscious leadership. Now, what does conscious leadership really mean? When I say the word leadership, it really means whether you're leading your personal life or you're leading your professional life, you're basically leading, right? You could be leading your children, you could be leading your colleagues, you could be leading a number of people out there. Imagine the things that we all go through in life. We navigate conflict with people. We negotiate with people on different things on a day-to-day basis. We make decisions of different kinds, tough ones. We have difficult conversations with people that we sometimes don't want to have. So there are so many real life scenarios that are applicable to your personal and professional life both. But when you put in ISQ, the inner Seer Intelligence, into action as a holistic practice, it can be implemented in any part of your life. So imagine you have this great tool of ISQ and you started tackling all these challenges in different ways, and you ultimately make your life go smoother, more intelligently, more consciously. And that's where conscious empowerment takes place. It surfaces as an outcome. Number two, we use the most cool one, the tarot-astrology. Now, this is not anything boo-boo, by the way. And if you've done some research as well, you will notice that 95% of the decisions that we make in our lives are subconscious, and only 5% are very conscious. I just want to imagine if these numbers actually swap around and we start making decisions 95% consciously and 5% subconsciously, because we need that too. Now, when you use tarot astrology, what do they really do? This has been popularized as, the predictive tools of the future. But that's not the right way of putting it or positioning it or even understanding it. The right way to use tarot astrology is to tap into the subconscious blueprint that has been available to us from the very get-go, but we never tapped into it. So when we look at tarot astrology, it gives us that blueprint that we know, okay, this is our playground, okay, through the energies that are at play, the cosmic energies that are at play. And you start to layer off and ask the right questions that can help you navigate your situations that you might find challenging at this time. And that's a beautiful way if you've ever done, I do a lot of tarot coaching with my clients, and I've had clients from literally all walks of life, from doctors, lawyers, bankers, or in finance, to fashion industry and whatnot, from all walks of life, literally. And they have all gotten something out of it that helped them move their needle in their lives, and in a very practical, very positive, encouraging way. So when you, of course, don't position or use a tool to the best of its ability and only use it in a predictive sense, especially for tarot astrology, you don't get the results that you want. And of course, you'll feel skeptic and you'll feel all woo-woo about it. And I don't doubt that when somebody can feel like that. But if you really wish to connect it differently, try this out, and I'm happy to support you with that. And the third thing that we do, of course, the third tool that we use is the life coaching. And I like to integrate all these tools together, whether it's tarot astrology, whether it's conscious leadership, or it's life coaching, because conscious leadership and tarot astrology naturally turn into the life coaching aspects. whatever you wish to be talking about, you want to untangle for yourself and navigate further, that can be talked about, resolved using all these tools together. So these are some of the ways that we can work together. And I'll be happy to know, what are you most interested in, whether it's conscious leadership, whether it's intuitive tarot astrology, or focused life coaching support. And don't forget to grab your free ebook, which is Embarking on Your CS Path, to get you started on your journey of conscious empowerment.